Monkey Meadow. Monkey Meadow seems like the cookie cutter map, so sure. And I guess we'll do Magic Monkeys only, so if we beat this, we will actually get a medal from doing it. So yay, finally an incentive for doing this game mode, because most people go for the bottom path. Most people seem to go for like chimps, because that's the thing. That's a challenge of this game, without having to use monkey knowledge and all that. A lot of people seem to neglect the top path, which has Magic Monkeys only, double HP Moabs, half cash now. Although I'm sure a lot more people will try to tackle half cash now that it's actually a challenge. Yeah, we'll get Wizard over here. The upgrade we want to go for is, I think, 025. Yeah. So if you didn't know already, they replaced the Soulbind ability. You guys remember Soulbind? Probably not, because it's an upgrade that almost nobody used because it was so bad. It was so bad that Ninja Kiwi had to rework the upgrade to do something else. So essentially it's like the 4th tier upgrade, but even better. Now, I myself actually haven't used the Necromancer ability, or like the 4th tier Wizard very much, because like I know it spawns undead balloons when it pops balloons, but I don't know exactly the science behind how it works, or the exact numbers behind it. Whatever, I just want to see undead shit. Yeah, so apparently it spawns undead mobs and BFBs, and that sounds pretty dope. Definitely a lot more interesting than Soulbind. Another thing to mention regarding Chimps mode while I'm at it. Interesting wizard spot, thanks. Don't worry, we'll buff it with an Alchemist, and then I think with the extra range, it will be able to attack up here. Anyway, I was about to say, regarding Chimps mode, so they made a change to Chimps mode, because before you could exploit Chimps, where you could restart and load back into your save on the same round if you're like close to dying, so you have time to think about your strategy. But now it's still possible to do that, but Ninja Kiwi has added a new special badge, so I believe it's a black badge if you happen to beat Chimps mode in one sitting. So that means no loading back into games. So unfortunately, if you do technically do it in one sitting, but then like your game crashes, so you have to jump back into it, it won't count. You won't get that special Chimps medal. Yeah, I should get a Let's Gold. Because we're here to see the Soulbind, or the Prince of Darkness. Yeah, we're here to see the Prince of Darkness. I believe it costs around $24,000 on medium. And a hard mode, I don't know, like 27k. So that's still quite a bit to save up. So with that said, we're going to need to gain some income. And because we're on Magic Monkeys only, we don't have farms. But we do have Alchemists. And Alchemists are also very good at giving you money. Just as long as you get third path over here. So let's get that. You're testing a new 5th tier and it looks super cool. Yeah. It looks pretty cool, but exactly how strong is it? That's what I'm wondering. Like, we know seeing a wizard spawn undead balloons, oh, that's cool and all, but we're not here just to see how cool it is. We're also here to see damage. Actually, we have enough money to afford Churchill, so let's get that. Why not? So that'll set us like 2,000 back, but I'm fine. Okay, so we got rubber to gold now. I think that's the only, our only gold generating source among all these towers over here. I mean, we do have a druid, but we don't have farms. So it would be really silly to buy that. Anyways, let's get 023 up. And we'll get up our Necromancer in a hot minute. Alright, 024 now, Necromancer. Spawn in undead balloons. But this is nothing you haven't seen before. I mean, game's been out for a month. You've probably seen this upgrade at some points. It's kind of hard to tell how good these undead balloons are. I'm not exactly sure what they do. I guess they just like do damage to balloons that pass through it, and then they disappear after a certain amount popped. Or after a certain distance traveled. I guess we can follow this one undead balloon over here. How far does he travel? Yeah, it seems like he stopped over here. So it's either once it pops X amount of balloons, or it travels a certain distance. Doesn't really say much. It's kind of like Soulbind in a sense, because I remember a lot of people complain about the Soulbind ability. They were complaining that This Soulbind, the ability, it didn't tell anything about what the update did or what the upgrade did. So a lot of people were left to guess what it did. So people didn't realize how bad the ability was until they actually had to try it out. Like they bought the upgrade not knowing what it did because the description didn't tell them anything. So they bought it and then they realized very quickly what a colossal waste of $30,000 it was. But thankfully, Prince of Darkness, I believe, is a lot better. Doesn't rely on you losing lives for it to do something. Anyways, we can afford it now. Now watch as we got a 5th year wizard spawning this shit. Undead Moabs. Now again, I don't know the math behind this. Also, undead BFBs. I mean, I guess it would help if we like sold our towers. Should we sell our towers? It was kind of a mistake maybe putting Churchill at the front over here. Maybe I should have gone down the back. You can sell this ninja though. We'll also leave the Alchemist buffing it. I really don't know if this Alchemist buff affects these undead balloons. But essentially what these undead balloons do, any balloon that passes over gets damaged for a certain amount. As you can see right now, they get stopped the moment the moment these Moabs cross this intersection, the balloons just do not pass. And I'm not sure how it triggers. It looks like it just triggers like whenever it wants. I don't know, what I thought before what it did was it would summon balloons only if it attacked balloons. But right now it looks like it just passively adding it. It also looks like I can't tell if this is a bug, but for some reason this wizard is not, he's not turning to pop balloons. You see this? You see he's shooting out these magic projectiles, but why isn't he turning? He's like shooting from behind. He's trying to flex on the other monkeys. Show that he doesn't even need to turn around to do damage. He can throw bolts like backwards. He's in a chair? Oh. Is that a chair? I can't tell. Okay, so maybe that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Maybe he just has to press buttons. Or whatever the hell he's doing. It's kind of hard to tell with these, like, 10 pixels he has his hands. It just looks like he's, like, moving his hands up and down. And apparently that triggers the chair to do damage. Either way, would it not make sense for, like, the chair to reorient itself? Prince's summons seem to be based on the average RBE popped during the round. Huh. So you might be right on that, because you see this right now? We got 1 BFB this round, very, very little RBE. And look at this. He's not spawning a single BFB, or anything at all, for that matter. In fact, that might be the reason why we die here. So, before we die, let's drop a Balloon Jitsu. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, it definitely looks like a plausible reasoning why it's not spawning, or it's spawning different levels of balloons every round. So we know level 8, level 60 only has like 3,000 RBE, but this round is close to like, I don't know, 10k plus. Let's see how much damage this undead guy can accrue, while also not making sure not to die. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna place all my strong towers at the back over here. So aka give the prince as much time as he can to pop balloons, and if he can't, then so be it. Yeah, I guess now that we've seen most of what this 025 can do, we'll just see how much damage it can accrue by like round 80. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna sell Churchill. I know we're gonna lose a lot of money doing this, but it's all for science. For science. Prince of Darkness has no multiplying power. Well, I'm pretty sure that's the point. It's not supposed to excel versus Moabs, but you are still seeing it does do damage to Moabs. So it's not like completely useless against it, which is good. Yeah, they changed the daily challenge panel, if you also haven't noticed. Because before, clicking on the monkey in the home screen put you right to the daily challenge, but now it actually pulls up an events board. So you know what that means? It means Ninja Kiwi has something in store in a future update. And as for what it is, I don't know, but we know that they're coming with more events, because that's what happens when you click the monkey now. it pulls up an events board, and then one of them's the daily challenge, and then there's a bunch of empty space below, which is probably going to be reserved for future challenges, so maybe special missions, I don't know. Prince of Darkness isn't the greatest versus mobs, but you still see that it can pop them, so just watch. See, they're slowly getting more damaged. And I assume, like, the strong BFBs over here, they do even more damage to, like, balloons that it passes. You think they'll add weekly and monthly challenges? Yeah, probably. So whatever they did in BTD 5 mobile, I don't quite remember, but they added a lot of different things for it. So like they added this rotating special events like Balloon Invasion or the Golden Balloon. So maybe they'll do like mini gimmicks like that in the events board. I don't know. Now you know what I wish that they added in terms of daily challenges? I wish they added a name to them, because I certainly believe that's possible, considering I believe someone at NinjaKiwi has mentioned that all the daily challenges that they made are manual. They're not randomly generated. So I kind of wish they did something like BTD Flash, where every day they would have a new name for the challenge instead of just beats X map on X difficulty using X towers only. That's, while it can be interesting, I think a name will put like the cherry on top, don't you think? You can make some very, very fun, like, memorable daily challenge names. Like, yeah, I definitely remember 20 surround balloons on the wall. That's a phrase I definitely remember. So I kind of wish in the future NinjaKiwi would do something like that, because that DC name will be forever ingrained in my brain. So overall, like, based on what I'm seeing from this game, I'd say it's an okay upgrade. I just don't know when the hell I would use it. Like, where's the situation where you'd be thinking like, I know for sure a Prince of Darkness is what I need here to beat this map. I'm not sure when I'd ever think that, because it's a very, very weird mechanic. This undead balloon spawning that only really shines when the round has a lot of RBE, it looks like. Anyways, round 78. I've yet to see exactly, I didn't quite recall how it did versus like this group rush, but it seemed to be not bad. So yeah, it does look like once the BFBs absorb enough balloons, they go poof. Also, while I'm at it on the wizard, they made some changes to the wizard. So for example, the wall fire upgrade, you see this fire over here? Apparently it's not supposed to be that strong. Or apparently before this update, the wall fire was not supposed to have infinite pierce or damage. Also, here we are at round 80 out of 80. So unfortunately, the Prince of Darkness does not spawn a single thing. And that's kind of shitty, isn't it? Seriously, not a single balloon is going to spawn. Color me disappointed. Until now, you see, now it's spawning a BFB. Now that there's a bunch of balloons that pop from the ZMG. So I believe my theory is right. And we can verify this theory by going to sandbox mode. So let's do that. I believe somebody mentioned towers have to be popping balloons for it to spawn. And it looks to be correct, yes. So it's not based on RBE. It's not based on number of balloons on the screen. It has to do with pops, so... Okay, you see this? You see that the wizard is spawning balloons, even though it's not popping them, so... Listen carefully. Any tower on the map has to be popping balloons for it to start spawning balloons. Yeah, it has to be actually doing damage to balloons, like, not just attacking ZMG. You actually have to have something like popping red balloons, and then you'll see eventually the wizard here should spawn balloons, like, right now. Just a couple.